Animal nervous system, part 1. Identify the situation and perform a correct action is possible with the help of control and coordination. Nervous system and muscular tissues helps in understanding and responding on each and every situation. To identify the situation, organisms have sense organs such as nose, ear, eyes, tongue, skin. Sense organs consist some specialized cells called receptors that detect specific kind of information. For example, tongue have gustatory receptors that detect taste. Nose have olfactory receptors that detect smell. Neuron. The job of acquiring information is done by nerve cell or neuron. When dendrites of neuron exposed to stimulus, they produces electrical impulses by converting chemical energy to electrical energy. Stimulus. A stimulus is any event that triggers specific action. For example, girl is using hammer. Accidentally, she got hurt, so her hand get pulled back and tears come out from eyes. The electrical impulse generated due to stimulus travel to cell body and then to nerve ending through axon. At nerve ending, electrical energy get converted to chemical energy. The chemical then passes to dendrites of other neuron and act as stimulus to next nerve cell. Thus, such network of neurons is able to transfer information in the form of electrical impulses from one part of body to another. Reflex actions. Some reactions are so sudden that happens without our knowledge. Such type of sudden actions are called reflex actions. For example, accidentally, if any hot object is touched, then immediately our hand get pulled back. Normally, sensation create electrical impulses which transfer information to thinking element in brain. Brain thinks about the situation and send electrical impulses to respond. Electrical impulses reach to nerves that facilitate muscular movement, causing action such as pulling back of hand. But time wasted in this process is enough to cause severe injury. Hence, there is a need for quick response. The need of quick response can be solved if nerves that detect signals send signal directly to nerves that move muscles. This process is called reflex arc. Thus, when we touch hot object, the nerves that detect heat send signal to spinal cord, from where the response signal is transmitted to nerves that move muscle, causing a quick action. Animal nervous system, part 2. Human body has two types of nervous systems: central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system. Central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord. Central nervous system receive information from all body parts and send response signal to muscles. Peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system consists of cranial nerves arising from the brain and spinal nerves connected to spinal cord. Peripheral nervous system facilitate communication between central nervous system and other body parts. Human brain. Brain is the main coordinating center of the body. It allows thinking and taking decisions based on that. Brain obtains information provided by receptors present in sense organs and sends signal to nerves that facilitate muscle movement. Brain has three major regions: forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain. Forebrain. The thinking process takes place in forebrain. Forebrain receives sensory impulses from various receptors such as olfactory receptors in nose, gustatory receptors in tongue. It has separate areas for analyzing specific types of signals like hearing, smell, sight, etc. The incoming signals are understood by comparing it with information from other receptors as well as with stored information in the brain. Depending on the incoming information, a decision is made and signal is transferred to correct places. Midbrain and hindbrain. There are actions called involuntary actions that are happening without our knowledge, such as heartbeat, breathing, blood transmission. Medulla in the hindbrain controls blood pressure, salivation, vomiting, heartbeat, breathing. Cerebellum in the hindbrain is responsible for precision in voluntary actions such as walking in a straight line, balancing a cycle, protection of tissues of nervous system. Brain is a delicate organ. Hence, it is placed in skull, which is very hard. Inside the skull, brain is contained in fluid-filled balloon, which prevents the brain from shocks. The vertebral column or backbone protects spinal cord. Movement of muscle fiber. When a nerve impulse reaches the muscle cell consists of special proteins that change their shape and arrangement in response to a nerve impulse. The new arrangement of these proteins allows muscle cells to contract or expand, which in turn causes movement of muscle fiber. Thus, we say the action is happening. Coordination in plants. Plants did not have nervous system and muscles for controlling and coordinating the movements of the body. Still, they shows response to stimuli. For example, sunflower changes direction according to sunlight. Basically, plant movements are classified as growth-dependent movements. Plants show movements depending on environmental stimulus and change the direction of growth. For example, if we keep a straight plant near window, then it bends towards sunlight. Similarly, tendrils of pea plant are sensitive to touch, thus they circle around the object around it. The movement of plant in response to light is called phototropism. For example, stem always grow towards the light. The movement of plant in response to gravity is called geotropism. For example, stem always grow away from gravity, while roots always grow towards the gravity. The movement of plants in response to water is called hydrotropism. For example, roots grow in the direction of water. The movement of plants in response to chemical stimulus is called chemotropism. For example, roots grows towards useful minerals and away from harmful chemicals. Growth-independent movements. Plants also perform movements that are independent of growth, such as touch-me-not plant closes its leaves on touch. Cells of touch-me-not plant release hormones that causes plant cells to change water content, simultaneously changing the shape. Plant hormones. Movements in the plants takes place with the help of chemical compounds called as hormones. Whenever plant cells experiences stimulus, it releases hormone that reaches to adjacent cell. Cell surfaces have molecules which helps to identify molecules and accordingly changes the content of the cell and help the plant to perform specific action. For example, plant placed near a window experiences a bend towards the light because of the hormone auxin. Similar to auxin, gibberellin promotes stem growth. Cytokinin promote cell division. For example, cell growth in fruits. Plant also secretes hormones to stop growth. For example, abscisic acid causes wilting of leaves. Hormones in animals. Animals like human cannot rely only on electrical impulses for performing any action, particularly when an action needs movement of more than one organ. To perform such actions, animals have provision of hormones secreted by endocrine glands. Endocrine glands consist of hypothalamus gland, pineal gland, pituitary gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid glands, thymus, pancreas, adrenal gland, testes in males and ovary in females. Adrenaline. It is secreted by adrenal glands located at top of each kidney. Most times, this hormone is secreted under scary situations so that body will remain prepared to run or fight. The secretion of this hormone causes faster heartbeat, contraction of muscle around small arteries, increased breathing. Thyroxine hormone. Thyroxine regulates carbohydrate, fat and protein metabolism so as to maintain best balance in growth. It is secreted by thyroid gland using iodine. Hence, deficiency of iodine can cause goiter, a disease in which neck swells abnormally. Growth hormone. Growth hormone is secreted by pituitary gland. It regulates growth and development of the body. Deficiency of this hormone in childhood cause dwarfism, that is, short height, while if it is secreted in excess, then it causes extremely tallness, that is, giants. Testosterone and estrogen hormones. At the age of puberty, that is 10 to 12 years, we find significant changes in appearance of human body, such as faster body growth, changes in body shape, lack of sleep, hair growth, and face and skin changes. All these changes are because testosterone in males and estrogen in females. Insulin hormone. Insulin is produced in pancreas that helps in regulation of blood sugar levels. Imbalance in this hormone causes rise in sugar level, that is diabetes. Hence, such persons obtain insulin by injecting it into the body. These hormones need to be secreted in precise quantity. For that, body uses feedback mechanism. For example, the sugar level in blood is identified by pancreatic cells and response is given by regulating the insulin secretion.